everyone, this is another Math 082 video, 3.2, and we'll be doing an example using the zero power rule and negative exponents. So I wrote down an example. What I didn't write down is that we are asked to express all of this whole equation using only positive exponents. So I mentioned in my last video that mathematicians tend to be somewhat obsessed with rewriting everything using only positive exponents. Almost always on an exam in my open math, you're going to be asked to have an answer that only contains positive exponents. As an engineer, I mentioned we don't really share that same aversion to negative exponents, but it is a good practice and it kind of demonstrates and shows that you have an understanding of what negative exponents really mean. So let's look at this equation, or actually not an equation, there's no equal sign, it's an expression. Okay, so let's look at all our different variables. I see an A, I see a B, we'll make some rainbow colors here. Okay, we have a C, we have a D, we have an E, I feel like a cheerleader here, and we have an F. Okay, all of those are different variables. We also have a number, I guess we could color that purple. Purple's a pretty color, right? We also have a 2. So nothing here can be combined. So all they're really asking us to do is anytime we see negative exponents, they're asking us to move them around. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go through and see if we can highlight just the negative exponents. Anything that's just a constant like 2, or anything that has a positive exponent does not need to move. So the first thing we need to move is this term right here, b to the negative second power. Okay, so b to the negative second power, if you watch my video on negative exponents, you know that's the same as 1 over b squared. Okay, so this guy, he's going to pack his little bags and he's going to come down to the denominator. Okay, I'm going to do this one at a time. I will fill out the whole thing. I'm just going to be kind of slow doing this. Okay. So then we have d to the negative first power. Okay, so again, my rule of negative exponents says that d to the negative first power is equal to, oops, I'm sorry, is that right? Yeah, is equal to 1 over d. But wait a minute, this d isn't in the denominator to begin with. He's already downstairs. So, oops, I wrote that wrong, sorry about that. Okay, so I have 1 over d to the negative first power. He's already in the denominator, so how do I fix that? Well, I fix that by moving him upstairs to the numerator. Okay, so generally speaking, if you have a negative exponent in the numerator, that means he moves down to the denominator. If you have a negative exponent in the denominator, that means he moves upstairs to the numerator. And if it bothers you that he doesn't have an exponent, you can stick a 1 there if you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill that in. So the d to the first power, or just d, your choice, is going to come upstairs. All right, now we have 1 over e to the negative fourth. So what's going to happen to that? Well, he's already downstairs, so he's going to move upstairs to the numerator. Okay, and remember, as they move, if they move from the top to the bottom or bottom to the top, notice that we are changing the sign of their exponent. Okay, so we're done with him. Everything else, hopefully you guys can see, everything else is not changing, is not moving, because it's either a constant like 2 or it's a positive exponent. So you could have done this first. For some reason, I chose to do it at the end. I'm not really sure why. I'm just going back and writing all of the terms that were not changed. Okay? So let's write our final answer. I'll write it all in one color so it doesn't look so strange. A to the third times d, a to the fourth times c, over 2b squared f squared. Now, if you're a little bit neurotic about order, as I can be sometimes, You may choose to rearrange these and write them in alphabetical order. I'm not really sure. Hopefully my open math does not care about that. On an exam, I certainly would not take off points because, multiplication is commutative. Okay, so I'm fine with that for the final answer. Again, if you decided you wanted to go the extra step and rewrite these so that everything was in alphabetical order, you could do that. All right, so that's it.